Karen was born in 1885 near Hamburg, Germany. Her father was a ship's captain, and she got to explore interesting places as a child. But her childhood was hardly the idyllic childhood that we all idealize.
How dare you get a glass of water without permission? Have I ever given you permission to get into the water without permission?
Her father was cruel, and she never really did get his love. To try to compensate for this, she became extra close to her stepmother and to her stepbrother, Bernd. But at a certain time, Bernd started getting creeped out by just how close she was getting, and he distanced himself from her. This put her in her first bout of depression. Depression is something that would plague her repeated times during her life. Her stepmother apparently got fed up with their father and left, leaving the two children with him. Karen was only 9 years old when this happened. At age 21, Karen enrolled into medical school against the wishes of her parents.
You will not go to medical school, or you will feel my wrath!
Karen, shall we say, was never really that concerned about whether or not she was following the strict, normal, approved order of things.
Who's she?
My name is Karen. Nice to meet you.
I'm wrong. You the new janitor or something?
I'm Tix.
Oh, okay.
Is there a problem with that? If you guys do not know, I have important matters to attend to.
While there, she met Oscar Horney, whom she married in 1909.
Karen, do you take Oscar to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Oscar, do you take Karen to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Together they had 3 daughters. But Oscar was harsh, like her father.
I told you to take care of all of the dishes. Why are they not all done?
I did, but people have eaten on them since you told me to. It's not my fault.
The dishes are your duty.
She at first thought this was just normal, or perhaps even a good thing. Her father's harshness had, after all, made her more independent. And independence and living by your own rules was something that defined her life.
And right now, you are going whipping shit. Go on. Yeah.
But in 1911, Karen experienced another bout of depression, this time following the death of her stepmother. While trying to cope, she became interested in coping mechanisms, and from there, into the field of psychoanalysis. By 1920, she had started publishing papers on Freud and psychosexuality. But in 1923, her husband's health collapsed, and with it, his business.
Why? Where's my tea?
I will help you some.
During the same year, Bernd died.
What?
This time, Karen's depression was bad enough that multiple times she considered suicide. But she solved her problems a different way. In 1926, she took her 3 daughters and left her husband.
It is time to go say goodbye to your father. You are no better than my father was. Cruel and without mercy. When I first met you, I thought you were a man who appreciated women. Now I can tell that is not the truth. Say goodbye to your father.
And in 1930, she and her daughters moved to the US, and she became friends with other prominent intellectuals, and became wrapped up in the Society of American Psychologists. By 1932, she had become the associate director of the Chicago Institute for Psychoanalysis. She also became a teacher at the New York Psychoanalytic Institute, but eventually got fired because she did not hold to traditional Freudian views.
To inform you that because you cannot hold to the standards of our school, we are going to have to release you. We are going to have to remove you from your teaching position.
In particular, Karen objected to Freud's concept of the libido, the death instinct, and the Oedipus complex. She particularly took offense to his assumptions on the female sex. She utterly laughed at the concept of penis envy.
You think we're envious of that? If there's anyone who's envious deep down inside, it's men. That's why they have to be all super powerful and have to try to compensate. Because they can't do what the lowest woman can. Create a new life. Without us, you'd all be gone.
Like Freud, she believed that childhood influences are very important, and Karen took it farther than he did. For many of the things that he took for granted to be inborn drives, she attributed instead to cultural, societal, childhood.
Sometimes neurosis comes from the need for power or prestige.
She focused a lot on neurosis, mild mental illness that is not in any way caused with disease or a loss of touch with reality, but it comes from life circumstances such as an abundance of stress or childhood trauma. She created 3 categories of neurotic needs: compliance needs, aggression needs, attachment needs. In 1941, she and other rebels founded the American Institute for Psychoanalysis. She was the dean of the institute until her death. During her life, she also established the American Journal of Psychoanalysis. Like a good psychoanalyst, she was not just interested in helping the people in straitjackets. She was interested in helping the everyday person who was dealing with everyday issues. But unlike Freud, she did not tell people to lay down on the Freudian couch. She was interested in people learning to diagnose and help themselves. Life itself still remains a very effective therapist. Female psychoanalysis became one of her focuses. But while she was interested in female psychoanalysis, she did not seem to believe in many inherent differences between men and women. In the year 1952, she died. But by then, she had already started something new. She had invented feminine psychology.
Goodbye, Freud.